Good afternoon out there, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Me and you know who. um, oh my gosh, I just came back from the most fun time. So I want to tell you guys a little story, and I think there's some little lessons peppered into this story. Some of you probably have heard parts of this before, so we're revisiting something, but it has to do with my friend Susie and how I met her, and up to current today with her. So Susie is a florist, and she was teaching and does teach floral classes to the community. And I was at one point setting up a business to do that myself. So I thought, well, let me get out there and see, what's happening with this. I was going to do it through this organization, Alice's Table, and I stepped away from all that. And anyway, so I took her class as just sort of like, let me see what people are doing. And immediately loved Susie. Well, I don't know what stage I was at as thinking of doing this Alice's Table, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I then reached out to her and said, would you consider taking me under your wing as an apprentice? Like, I would be available to help you set up your weddings or whatever, and also learn that way, and like I could be another set of hands for you, basically offering myself. She taught me something so good. It was so smart of her too, because she wrote me back and said, sure, this is what I charge for that. And here I was thinking I was offering her something, being another set of hands. But she was looking at it as, I don't know this chick. Is she going to be like learning from me to then become my competition and stuff? And I was just sort of stumbling and bumbling my way through this. So I didn't really know what I was doing, really. But when she said that back, I was like, oh, duh. Well, yeah, this is something I should pay for. It's training. So then I immediately said, yes, take me on. And she was also training this other guy, and he sort of dropped out. So it was just the two of us. So I started, paying her to train me in flowers, to work alongside of her and do these arrangements. And at one point we both entered a contest through the wholesale flower, wholesaler. And she helped me create my arrangement for the contest, which was like this inspired by this orchid. And I made mine in a champagne bucket. So it was like the inspiration was like bubbles coming out of champagne. And anyway, super fun. We did that together. So we started doing a lot of things. Subsequently, she decided to set up a brick and mortar shop. We went through all that together. Then I really did become like her assistant or whatever, working with her in the shop, helping her set that up and all that kind of stuff. We went through some great, there was no running water. We didn't have access to running water at first. We didn't have a bathroom. I mean, it was crazy. We look back at like the crazy stuff we went through, but we became fast and good friends through all of this stuff. So fast forward to now. I took a class with her this last weekend, and, I'm not always around as much, but I'm here right now. But, like I have this dog. So like coordinating, doing things and leaving him for stretches of time or whatever. But I signed up for this class. And I think some of you saw that tropical arrangement we made with the bird of paradise and all that stuff, which was really unique and different and fun to do in her shop. And then, but I took a video of my arrangement, and I was looking at it thinking, I'm stuck in a freaking rut. With my video, look back at the video. I'm like, I'm always doing the same thing over and over and over again, which is the same mistake. I'm calling it a mistake, but the same pattern that ends up being the same looking arrangement that I don't want to always be doing, which is like it has a front and a back, but it's not three-dimensional, or it's not round, like you can look at it from all angles. Like, why do I keep doing this? I'm just stuck in this. Even when I try not to do it, then I look at it, I'm like, there I did it again. Like, I'm just stuck in this pattern. And it's frustrating because I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to get better at this. Some people have just absolute natural skills, like my friend Danny in Scottsdale. She can put her hand on a flower and know exactly where to put it, and it's going to just go pow, magic. She has this natural eye and this natural skill at it. And same with Susie. You see certain people. I think the lady next to me in the class over the weekend has that too. I have to work at it. I do not have that X factor woven into me. I have to learn. I have to work at it. I have to really think. They don't even have to think. They just pick it up, plop, pick it up, plop. They just know. It's just second nature. I don't have that. I know I don't have that. So, but I'm willing to learn because I think I can learn it. I think it's a skill I can learn. My husband was just saying, John, my husband was just saying it's neuroplasticity, which is good to do when we're older, is to learn new things and challenge ourselves. And it's frustrating for me because I really want to be good at this. And I really push myself to learn. And then when I look back and I think, but I'm still stuck in this pattern doing the same thing. So anyway, what occurred to me when I looked at that video was I need more practice. I need to just keep doing this and keep pushing myself out of whatever this comfort zone is that I'm in that keeps creating the same thing over and over. So I contacted Susie and I said, can we go back to our roots and will you take me on as a private student again? Like this was years ago we started doing this. I don't know, 6 years ago now or something that we started it. And I said, I just feel like I need to start at the beginning again. Will you take me on as a private student? Well, because I knew the summer is her downtime and because we're in a university town and they're all gone. So I knew that things are like really chill and she just bit, you know? So I'm going to go weekly and work with her. And so here's the interesting thing. You know, I talked with her about it and I said, and she knows me and she watches how I work and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah, I see that you kind of like always are ending up with this sort of flat back of your arrangements. And I need to just teach you some basics. I said, I know these basics though, Susie. I don't know why that I know them, but they're not translating to my hands. And she said, that is muscle memory. You have some muscle memory that is programmed to keep doing this thing that you're doing. And we need to change that. We need to redirect that muscle memory to something new. And the only way you can do that is with repetition. My dog sounds like a cat coughing up a hairball. So with practice, it was the weirdest thing, you guys, because before we got started, we laid everything out. I'm going to make a short video that's going to kind of show the progression of this arrangement that I made today, which is in the background. It's really pretty. I started having this anxiety. I'm like, I have no anxiety around Susie. I'm around flowers all the time. I've worked with her for years. I'm like, what is this anxiety? And she goes, you're confronting this pattern, whatever it is. I mean, it looks like it's about flower arranging, but it feels like it was something deeper. I don't know how else to explain this. All I know is that I just started feeling this weird anxiety about doing this. And she said, let's just do it. Let's just get busy. She's so freaking cool. She's a really good teacher. And so she's leading me through we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And now you're going to do this. And then she's looking at it and, you know, giving me encouragement and also, you know, corrections along the way and stuff like that. And then at some point when I step back and then she goes, I looked over at hers. I'm like, but yours is clearly better than mine. And we did it side by side. She wasn't going to do one. And then she goes, you know what, let's do the same thing side by side. And I look at hers and I said, yours looks like a professional florist and mine doesn't. Like I can see this difference, but I'm really probably seeing that innate natural gift that she has that I don't have. So you can kind of see it, you know, the difference. And she was like, yes, but yours has your personality to it and it's beautiful. And then she goes, turn around, walk to the end of the store and walk back and look at your arrangement. This woman doesn't have any training in any of this stuff. It was just an intuitive hit. And then when I came back and I looked at it from that angle, honest to God, I thought I was going to cry. I don't know what this is going on in me. Something else is shattering and opening up to something new. It was so unbelievably cool. Then I'm looking at her arrangement and I'm like, what are you going to do with that? Because she wasn't planning on doing that, you know, and she used a lot of flowers. You'll see it was like full of roses and these campanulas, I think, that are amazing. Delphinium. I mean, these are high-end flowers that are in this. And so, you know, she's like, I'll just put it in the cooler and see if it sells. But she doesn't get a lot of business right now. She doesn't get a lot of walk-in business. So I said, I'm going to buy that from you. Because I thought that really should be part of the class, right? Because she otherwise wouldn't be making it, and her making it is part of teaching me. So I said, just add that into the training, into the class, and I'm going to give it to my neighbor because my neighbor, I'm still in the era of people like coming out of nowhere and doing nice things for me. She knocks on my back door. Well, she sent me a text saying, I'm coming to your back door in 5 minutes. She knocks on my back door and brought me a full-blown dinner. These delicious chicken breasts, this potato and onion thing that she makes that I've like told her it's like the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. And cauliflower, all plated on a plate. She just completely brought me my whole dinner over yesterday. So I said, I'm buying that and I'm giving it to her today as a thank you for that. So it was just, the vibe was like, when you land in a vibe of like everybody's winning and like everybody's in their flow. And the more I was my friend's student, the more she stepped up more into the teacher. And oh my gosh, the stuff that she was saying is like, this is why you're doing this. You need, now watch your eye. Your eye needs to flow from one side to the other of this arrangement. And now turn it and let it flow from one side on all sides. What are you doing, Beasley? He came, he's been wanting my attention, so I'm going to get off here in a second. But I don't know. I just wanted to share that because I thought, okay, first of all, we're not too old to learn new things, and it's good to learn new things because neuroplasticity is important for brain function. And my husband and I, John and I have been reading a lot about that. He's been reading more about it, but we've been talking a lot about that. So that's one function of this. So I want to tell you that. The other thing is, if you're interested in learning about flower arranging and you don't have classes in your area or whatever, call up a florist and say, would you ever be interested in taking me under your wing and just doing any one-on-one training with me? I'll pay you for the training and the arrangement that I get out of it, and then just be in your shop with you, and just for my own personal knowledge, not to set up a shop to compete with you or anything. I just want to learn this. Would you ever consider doing that? And see if they bite. That's a way that you could get some basic training in doing this. One-on-one was pretty amazing considering I had just been in the class before, and also because she knows me and she kind of knows my strengths and difficult things. So I just saw my neighbor pull up, and she's going to text me here in a second. I said, text me when you get home so I can bring this over to her. But now I'm going to show you my arrangement. I hope you can see it. So I told her, I said, that's what I want. So we already made a date for next week. I said, I want to come weekly. Because normally this time of year, I'm driving down to Hershey to these flower farms that are, hour and a half away to take classes with them. And I'm like, but I can't do it with Beasley because I'm here alone with Beasley. And I can't take him, and B, I can't leave him. And I don't want to like board him just to go do that. So, but I thought, what are you thinking of? You got somebody right here in your backyard who you can do this with. So I'm going to go weekly. And I told her, I don't need to have like every week a different lesson. I just need to have the same thing and just keep doing it and doing it. She has an abundance of flowers, so I don't have to go out and gather all these flowers. She's got the teaching skills and she's got the space to do it in. And she doesn't have to shut down the shop or anything like that. I'm just hanging out with her, and we're friends and we chit chat along the way as well. It was just like, I was telling John, this is just like being in a groove of a win-win situation for everybody. And she's like, this was so much fun because she gets to shine in her skills as a teacher. I really need her skills like that and am reinforcing that. And she's seeing the growth in me. And that's just fulfilling for somebody. And then we made these beautiful flower arrangements. And then John made a good suggestion. He goes, next week, because I'm going to do that every time, I'll buy her arrangement because I really feel like that should be part of the class, the training, because otherwise she's got the pressure to have to sell that in a few days, but I can walk right out of it. He said, why don't you take that somewhere, donate it, and put her business card in it so I know exactly where I'm going to take it to my brother's community, their community area, and stick her business card in it and donate it to there so they, A, can enjoy it, and B, she can get a little exposure that she may not get otherwise. So I thought that was a great suggestion. So I don't know. It's just good vibes all around. Hope you guys are having good vibes. Hope you got some good vibes off this story. And now I'm going to go do a delivery next door. And let me show you this little boy. Look at that. Resting on my foot. All right. Have a great day out there, everybody, and I will catch you next time. Hope you got something out of this story. I'm feeling really good, and I hope you are too. All right, catch you later.